we talked about the Biden speech. Now I want to jump into the right-wing media response to this and kind of the dishonesty that surrounds that. The first thing is Fox and Friends, the morning after this speech that happened last night, so this morning, they said, Brian Kilmeade goes, oh, where is Nancy isn't necessarily a perilous statement to make. That's what the FedEx guy asks when he's looking for Nancy. He's just looking for Nancy. There's nothing horrible about where's Nancy. Well, there is, and the reason why Biden brought up that line that was both used by the assailant attacking Paul Pelosi and Nancy and Paul Pelosi's San Francisco home, but then also whenever they were looking for Nancy Pelosi in the Capitol on January 6th, is because it's representative of the deep, scary batch of lies that have been told about the Democratic Party generally, Nancy Pelosi specifically, the demonization, the promotion of violence against her, that then leads people to go look for her and want to do horrible things to her, break her kneecaps, likely murder her if the Capitol rioters got their hands on her. And so this is so disgusting watching Fox and Friends, Brian Kilmeade specifically, try to act like, oh, come on, you're being hyperbolic.
Bring up Donald Trump, January 6th, and Paul Pelosi, and saying they heard the words, where's Nancy? Right. That's the same thing the FedEx guy says when he needs a signature. Where's Nancy is nothing perilous. That's what you do when you're looking for Nancy. There's nothing...
Oh, really? It is perilous whenever what you want to do once you find Nancy, because you are looking for her, as he's correct about, but once you find her, you want to do horrible things to her, horrible, violent acts. And then continue on the Fox News lineup. Tucker Carlson goes, that's weird, to one of the clips whenever Joe Biden says that people should accept the results of the midterm elections. He goes, that's weird. Why are you telling people to accept the results? How bizarre.
Well, that's very weird if you think about it. So here...
No, thought about it. Not weird.
We are less than a week before the Democratic Party is expected to suffer overwhelming losses in the midterm elections. And here you have the leader of that party, Joe Biden, commanding you not to complain about the election results. Why is that? Well, let's see. Here's Joe Biden telling you that...
And then he shows more moments, but nothing is weird whenever you look out in the country and realize there is an entire movement that will not accept an election result if it's not them winning. I think it's fair for the President of the United States to go, whatever happens, accept it. Now, that's also being said, you know, to his side as well, but we don't have to hear that because we already know if the Republicans were to win in this midterms, we would be able to accept it because we're not completely void of the ability to see facts and evidence and come to a logical conclusion. But on the other side, of course, not the entire side, but the MAGA movement that's being discussed here, they won't do that. And the leaders of them, as well as the followers, are on board with a new world that they get to live in where the only way elections are fair is if they win. So it's perfectly reasonable, and Tucker Carlson is off his rocker to believe that it's anything but reasonable for Biden to ask people to accept our democratic process. Here's Lindsey Graham on Fox News getting asked about what he thought of the speech.
Stacey Abrams herself, but that's not happening either. What was your reaction to Biden's angry speech?
If I'm a liberal Democrat, I would say, Joe, please stop helping. I thought it was pathetic. I thought it was divisive. Not one word about how I'm going to secure a broken border, how I'm going to lower gas prices as president, how I'm going to challenge rampant crime, how I'm going to make us energy independent. It was about half the country basically being political terrorists. It's not going to...
Stacey...
Hey, he called it divisive. You know what's divisive? Not being able to accept an election result. So you created an entire lie pretending that you actually won the election and calling the current president illegitimate because he stole the election, claiming that Joe Biden stole the election. That seems pretty divisive to me. And then here is the White House press secretary getting asked by someone in the press room, Ducey, are you saying that just voting Republican is breaking down our democracy?
Thank you, Kareem. Following up on your comment that there's an alarming number of Republicans who are saying they're not going to accept election results. Does that mean President Biden thinks it is a threat to democracy if somebody votes Republican?
No, that's a ridiculous question. No.
Why is that a ridiculous question?
Because American people should have their right to vote for whomever they want. The voting is a sacred right. It is something that the president wants to protect at every turn, and he has done that. He's taken actions to protect the right to vote. And you see Democrats in Congress also doing the work to protect the right to vote. We are talking about MAGA Republican officials who have been very clear about this.
Yeah, so everything she's saying is correct. And the dishonesty of so many people saying, wait, why is Biden just pretending that everyone who's not exactly like him politically is a horrible terrorist? That's not what's happening. And I guess that's why they try to make the distinction so clear between MAGA and other Republicans, because it's like, wait. How is it divisive or horrible or threatening or whatever for us to just describe what's happening? You are claiming that if you lose, it's because the election was stolen. So I'm saying, hey, you're saying that. That's not very compatible with our democratic process, and you still haven't provided any evidence that anything significant is wrong with our democratic process from a standpoint of elections being able to get stolen. So how is that divisive on our part or on Biden's part or whatever it is? It's so irritating, and they try to make a narrative. This is him just trying to go out after his political enemies. I guess enemies of the democratic process, sure. And that's exactly what a president should do at this point in the history that definitely will be getting told about America either falling or almost falling and then somehow staying alive as a democracy. So there it is from Fox News, just so much dishonesty. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.